They lied to you. Every single thing you were taught about money, success, and morality was carefully engineered to keep you exactly where you are right now. Broke, stuck, wondering why everyone else seems to be winning while you're playing by rules that don't actually exist. What if I told you that wealth isn't complicated calculus or lucky breaks, but a simple shift in how you see the world? A shift so obvious, so brutally clear that once you see it, you can't unsee it. And the people at the top, they're desperately hoping you never figure this out. Welcome to Shadow Whisper, where we don't sugarcoat reality, we decode it. If you're tired of the same recycled advice that keeps you running in circles, hit that like button right now and subscribe, because what you're about to hear will fundamentally rewire how you think about power, money, and success. This isn't motivation, this is revelation. Let's start with something uncomfortable. You've been conditioned to believe that hard work equals success, that passion pays bills, that being a good person automatically leads to prosperity. But look around. Are the hardest workers the richest? Are the most passionate people living in financial freedom? Are the nicest people running companies and building empires? No, and there's a reason for that. The system you're operating in wasn't designed to reward goodness. It was designed to reward leverage, perception, and strategic ruthlessness. And the architect who decoded this centuries ago was a man named Niccolò Machiavelli. In 1513, Machiavelli wrote a book that would be banned, feared, and misunderstood for generations. The Prince. It wasn't a guide for how the world should work. It was a manual for how the world actually works. And every single person who's built serious wealth, who's accumulated real power, who's broken free from the matrix of mediocrity, has either read this book or stumbled onto its principles through brutal experience. Today, we're going to extract 9 laws from Machiavelli's work and translate them into the language of modern wealth. Not theory, application, not philosophy, strategy. Law number 1 is the economy of pain. You've been told to follow your passion, to do what you love, and the money will follow. This is perhaps the most financially destructive lie ever sold to a generation. Here's the truth that Machiavelli understood. People don't pay you for what you love. They pay you for solving their problems. Money flows toward pain relief, not passion projects. The economy doesn't care about your feelings. It cares about value exchange. And value is always determined by one thing. How much pain does your product or service eliminate for someone else? Think about it. A surgeon doesn't get paid because surgery is their passion. They get paid because they solve the pain of disease and injury. A plumber doesn't get rich because they love pipes. They get rich because a burst pipe at 3 in the morning is someone's nightmare. The bigger the pain you solve, the bigger the check. The more urgent the pain, the faster the money moves. But here you are following advice that tells you to center your career around what makes you feel good, completely ignoring what the market actually needs. Machiavelli would call this delusional. And he'd be right. Your passion might be painting. Beautiful. The world might need more art. But unless that art solves a specific pain for a specific person who has money, you're going to struggle. The wealthy don't wake up asking what they love doing. They wake up asking, where is the pain in the market? And how can I be the one to solve it? They position themselves between a desperate need and its solution. That position is called leverage. And leverage is the second law. Law number 2, the fox and the trap. Machiavelli wrote that a prince must be a fox to recognize traps and a lion to frighten wolves. In wealth terms, this translates to understanding the 3 types of leverage that separate the rich from everyone else: labor leverage, capital leverage, and code leverage. Let's break that down because this is where most people get stuck in the trap of trading time for money. Labor leverage is when other people work for you. You build a business. You hire a team. Their time creates output that you own. The wealthy understand that there are only 24 hours in a day. If you're the only one working, your income has a ceiling. But if you have 10 people, 100 people, 1,000 people working within systems you control, your income is now multiplied by human effort that isn't yours. This is how empires are built. Not by working harder, but by orchestrating the work of others. Capital leverage is using money to make money. The poor save. The middle class invest cautiously. The rich deploy capital aggressively into assets that generate returns. Real estate, businesses, stocks, anything that works while you sleep. Machiavelli understood that fortune favors the bold, not the reckless, but those willing to take calculated risks with resources. You can't build wealth by hiding money under a mattress. You build it by putting money to work in systems that compound. Then there's code leverage. This is the newest form and the most powerful. Software, media, content, systems that scale infinitely without additional human effort. You create something once, a course, a product, a platform, and it sells 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times. This is why a teenager with a YouTube channel can out-earn a surgeon, not because they're smarter, but because they understand code leverage. They've built a system that duplicates their effort infinitely. The fox recognizes which leverage to use. The lion has the courage to use it. Law number 3, perception is reality. Machiavelli wrote that it's not enough to be virtuous. You must be seen as virtuous. In the context of wealth, this means you're not paid what you're worth. You're paid what people think you're worth. And that perception is something you control. Let me give you an example. 2 graphic designers, same skill level, same portfolio quality. Designer A charges $50 an hour. Designer B charges $500 an hour. Why? Because designer B understands branding, positioning, and the psychology of value. They've built a website that screams premium. They've crafted case studies that showcase transformation. They've positioned themselves as scarce, exclusive, and high status. Same work, 10 times the income. The difference? Perception. The wealthy spend enormous energy controlling how they're perceived. They understand that humans make decisions emotionally and justify them logically. If you look expensive, sound authoritative, and create an aura of exclusivity, people will pay you more, not because the work is objectively better, but because the perception of value is higher. This isn't manipulation, it's understanding human nature. Machiavelli knew that appearance often matters more than substance. And while you should absolutely deliver real value, ignoring the importance of how that value is packaged is financial malpractice. Your marketing is not separate from your product. It's part of the product. Law number 4, ruthless removal. Machiavelli advised princes to eliminate threats before they grow. In your financial life, this means your environment is either making you rich or keeping you poor. And you need to be ruthless about removing the things and people that drain your potential. Look at your closest 5 friends. Are they ambitious? Are they building something? Are they challenging you to level up? Or are they comfortable, complacent, and quietly resentful of anyone who wants more? Machiavelli understood that mediocrity is contagious. So is excellence. If you're surrounded by people who think wanting wealth is greedy, who mock ambition, who celebrate small thinking, you will stay small. Not because you're not capable, but because your environment is a constant psychological anchor. Ruthless removal also applies to how you spend your time. Every hour you spend scrolling, binge-watching, or engaging in activities that produce zero value is an hour you're choosing poverty. The wealthy guard their time like a fortress. They say no to almost everything. They cut out distractions with surgical precision. They understand that attention is the most valuable resource in the modern economy, and they refuse to give it away for free. You think you don't have time to build a side business, learn a high-income skill, or create something valuable? You have the same 24 hours as everyone else. The difference is how you allocate it. Remove the time wasters. Remove the energy vampires. Remove the comfort zones. Be ruthless. Your future depends on it. Law number 5, the Amoral Shift. This is the most controversial law and the one that separates those who build wealth from those who stay stuck in moral paralysis. Machiavelli argued that a prince shouldn't be bound by conventional morality when survival and success are at stake. Now, before you misunderstand, this doesn't mean being evil. It means understanding that the marketplace doesn't reward niceness. It rewards results. You've been programmed to believe that being a good person and being successful are the same thing. They're not. You can be kind, generous, and ethical while also being strategically aggressive in business. The problem is that most people confuse being nice with being weak. They avoid difficult conversations. They undercharge because they don't want to seem greedy. They let people take advantage of them because confrontation feels uncomfortable. Machiavelli would say, that's not virtue. That's cowardice disguised as morality. The amoral shift is realizing that business is a game with rules, and the people winning are playing by those rules without apology. They negotiate hard. They fire underperformers. They raise prices. They say no. They prioritize profit because profit is what allows them to take care of their families, build their dreams, and yes, even help others. You can't be generous from a position of poverty. The wealthiest philanthropists on earth didn't get there by being pushovers. They got there by being fierce in the marketplace and generous with the results. Stop letting fake morality keep you broke. Real morality is taking care of yourself and the people you love. Everything else is performance. Law number 6, the fortress of retention. Machiavelli emphasized that conquering a territory is one thing, holding it is another. The same applies to wealth. Making money is a skill. Keeping and multiplying it is a completely different game. And this is where most people fail. They get a windfall, a bonus, a big sale, and immediately lifestyle inflate. Bigger house, fancier car, expensive vacations. And within months, they're back to zero. The wealthy think in terms of fortresses. They build systems to protect and grow their capital. They automate savings. They invest in assets, not liabilities. They understand the difference between looking rich and being rich. Here's a framework. Every dollar you earn has 3 jobs. Spend, save, multiply. The poor spend everything, the middle class spend most and save a little. The wealthy spend the minimum necessary, save aggressively, and invest the rest into vehicles that compound. Real estate that appreciates, businesses that generate cash flow, index funds that grow over decades. The fortress of retention is built on discipline, not income. You don't need to make $1 million to start building wealth. You need to stop bleeding money on things that don't matter. Cook at home, drive a used car, live below your means, redirect that difference into assets. In 10 years, you'll be untouchable. In 20, you'll be generationally wealthy, but only if you build the fortress now. Law number 7, the weaponization of time. Machiavelli understood that timing was everything in politics and war. The same is true in wealth. But here's the twist. The ultimate goal isn't just making money, it's buying back your time. The weaponization of time means creating systems that free you from the tyranny of the clock. Most people are trapped in linear income. They trade hours for dollars. If they stop working, the money stops. This is a prison. The wealthy build exponential income. They create assets that generate money whether they're working or not. A rental property collects rent while they sleep. A business runs with managers. An investment portfolio compounds automatically. But here's the deeper insight. Time is the only non-renewable resource you have. You can always make more money. You can never make more time. So the real question isn't how do I get rich? It's how do I build a life where I control my time? Where I wake up without an alarm, where I spend my days doing what I want, with who I want, where I want. That's wealth. And it's achieved by front-loading pain, working obsessively in your 20s and 30s to build systems that free your 40s, 50s, and beyond. Most people do the opposite. They coast early and panic late. Weaponize your time now by investing it into assets that will pay you forever. Law number 8, the unfair advantage. Machiavelli wrote that fortune favors those who adapt to the times. In modern terms, this means finding your asymmetric edge, your unfair advantage. The thing you can do better, faster, or differently than everyone else. This isn't about being the best in the world. It's about being the best at the intersection of multiple skills. You might not be the best writer, or the best marketer, or the best at sales. But if you're good at all 3, you're suddenly in the top 1% of people who can build and sell products. That combination is your edge. The wealthy don't compete in crowded markets on even terms. They find angles. They exploit gaps. They leverage unique combinations of skills, networks, and insights that others don't have. Maybe you have industry knowledge from a previous job. Maybe you have a network in a niche community. Maybe you understand a platform better than most. These are edges. And the people making serious money aren't the most talented. They're the ones who've identified and exploited their unique advantages. Stop trying to be good at everything. Find your spike, the place where your skills, interests, and market demand intersect. Then go all in. Law number 9, the end of hope. Machiavelli was a pragmatist. He didn't believe in wishful thinking. He believed in preparation, strategy, and action. The end of hope means stop waiting for things to get better. Stop hoping the economy improves. Stop hoping your boss notices you. Stop hoping you'll stumble into wealth. Hope is not a strategy. Planning is. Execution is. The wealthy don't hope. They build. They create systems, run experiments, and iterate based on results. They accept reality as it is, not as they wish it to be. And then they engineer solutions. If you're broke, it's not bad luck, it's bad strategy. If you're stuck, it's not the economy, it's your execution. This isn't about blame, it's about power. Because the moment you stop externalizing your situation and start taking full ownership, you unlock the ability to change it. Machiavelli would tell you that fortune is a river. When it's calm, you build dams and channels to control it. When it floods, you've already prepared. Most people do nothing during calm times and then drown when the flood comes. They hope things work out. The wealthy plan for things to work out. And when plans fail, they adapt and plan again. So here's the reality check. You've been operating under a set of beliefs that were never designed to make you wealthy. Work hard and you'll succeed. Be nice and people will reward you. Follow your passion and money will come. These aren't strategies, they're pacifiers. They keep you calm, compliant, and predictable. The principles we've just covered, the economy of pain, leverage, perception, ruthless removal, the amoral shift, retention, unfair advantages, and strategic planning, these are the real rules, the ones the wealthy play by while everyone else is distracted by motivational quotes and vision boards. Now, if this resonated with you, if something clicked and you're seeing the game differently, do me a favor, drop a comment below and tell me which law hit you the hardest. Was it the amoral shift, the weaponization of time, the economy of pain? Let's start a conversation because Shadow Whisper isn't just about content. It's about building a community of people who refuse to stay asleep. And share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Someone stuck in the matrix. Someone who still believes the fairy tales. Be the person who wakes them up. Here's the bottom line. Wealth isn't complicated. It's not reserved for the lucky or the connected. It's a systematic outcome of thinking differently and acting accordingly. Machiavelli decoded power 500 years ago, and his insights are more relevant today than ever. The world hasn't changed. Human nature hasn't changed. The game is the same. The only question is whether you're going to keep playing by the fake rules or start playing by the real ones. This is Shadow Whisper, reminding you that the truth doesn't care about your feelings, but it will set you free.